Welcome into college football now. I am Harrison Graham. It's National Signing Day, and barring an unforeseen change, Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs have pulled in the #1 recruiting class for 2020. 23 commits in total. 4 5-stars, 15 4-stars, and 4 3-stars. Alabama tried to make a late push. They were in the mix for a top 70 player, McKinley Jackson, this morning. He decided to go to Texas A&M, so it appears that Georgia has pulled off the #1 recruiting class according to the composite rankings from 24/7 Sports. They're sitting #1 right there, as I mentioned. ESPN has them at #2 in their rankings. 24/7's regular has them at #3, and then Rivals has Georgia as the #1 recruiting class in the country as well. So Kirby Smart getting after it on the recruiting trail. We will break down this class, all 23 players, in just a moment. But first, can I get a go, Dogs? I know the last couple of years haven't ended the way Georgia fans had hoped. Kirby Smart's really close. This program's in the right direction. Hopefully it can break through very, very soon. But you Georgia fans out there, type "Go Dogs" in the comments section. And if you want more Georgia videos, go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports. We haven't done a ton of Georgia football stuff, but if you want to convince the bosses here, hey, I like this Georgia content, then you got to subscribe. Hit that big red button and tell your friends about it. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We get enough subscribers on this video, maybe we'll ramp up our Georgia football coverage throughout spring ball and on into the 2020 college football season. Let's get into this 2020 class for the Bulldogs. Kelee Ringo, the 5-star cornerback, #4 overall player in the country. This guy is a physical specimen at the corner position. He is going to be a terrific player for Kirby Smart and that defense. He's physical. He reads quarterbacks' eyes well, as you see on the interception right there. Great ball skills. He is just a terrific back-end player. Could play safety, quite frankly, if he chose to do so, because he is a very willing tackler. 6'2", 205 out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Made a lot of plays his senior year in high school. Early enrollee for Georgia. And like I said, willing tackler, willing to tackle, which is not what you always see out of cornerbacks coming out of high school. But over 200 pounds. He's got the size. He's already an SEC-built corner at 6'2", 205. This kid will be playing on Sundays in a few years. Kelee Ringo, Georgia's top recruit for 2020. Another 5-star here, we got Broderick Jones, the offensive tackle, #11 overall player in this year's class out of Lithonia, Georgia. A big kid here, 6'5", 275. Needs to put on a little bit of weight, but he's got the proper frame. Possibly red shirt. It's probably not, though, as a red shirt. They'll get him in that weight room program this spring and summer on into the fall as Georgia transitions into the 2020 season. This guy will be a big-time left or right tackle in Athens. Next player, we got Jalen Carter, top 20 player, #18 overall, the 5-star defensive tackle out of Apopka, Florida. I think this guy will be a game wrecker on Kirby Smart's defense. Obviously, Georgia's had a terrific defense the last several years. The offense needs to catch up a little bit, but Carter out of Florida, nation's #4 defensive tackle, top 20 overall player, 6'4", 301, has terrific size. I think he is going to be an impact player at Georgia. And then this might be my favorite player in the entire 2020 class, but for sure for Georgia's 2020 class, Darnell Washington. This kid is 6'7", 260 pounds. I don't know where he's going to play. He played receiver, tight end, played some defense in high school. I kind of would like to see him line up at defensive end and put his hand in the ground and get after the quarterback. I don't know if we've seen this freakish athleticism out of an 18-year-old heading into college. 6'7", 260, like I mentioned. Out of Las Vegas, Nevada, he can really run. He's a physical player. He can make people miss in the open field. Kids can't tackle him. It's just unfair. You're watching the tape. This kid at the high school level, are you kidding me? He's going up against 5'6" corners probably, and he's just running right through him, running right past him. Darnell Washington, tight end or defensive end is, I think, where he will end up. Quite frankly, he could put on 30 pounds and become an offensive tackle if he really wanted to, but I think that would be underutilizing his athleticism. I can't wait to see where this kid fits in. #23 overall player, #2 athlete in the 2020 recruiting cycle. Mikael Sherman, the top 4-star for Georgia, outside linebacker, #32 overall player in this year's class. Excited to watch this kid play. He really gets sideline to sideline, 6'3", 230 pounds. He runs really well. He's out of St. John's College High School in Washington, D.C. Like I mentioned, good size, 6'3", 234, tackles well. He can cover tight ends. Also, I think this kid could play some as a freshman. We know Georgia always cycling in really good linebackers. I like this kid. Put on 10 or 15 pounds. He will look like an NFL linebacker very, very quickly. Now, you Georgia fans, we have gear on sale for you guys, so take advantage of these today. Chatsports.com/NCAA gear. We got hoodies, we got T-shirts, we got these sweet golf polos. A lot of this stuff up to 50% off. And then, like producer Alicia said, the classic long sleeve with the old school UGA logo there. I love this one. I'm not even a Georgia fan, but this is a sweet long sleeve. I may have to get it, and hint, hint, this one is on sale for sure. Chatsports.com/NCAA gear. Take advantage of these deals today. All right, next player here, we got Tate Ratledge, the offensive tackle, 4-star player, top 40 player in this class, 6'6", 322 pounds. The big uglies don't get a lot of attention, but Ratledge should be a good one for Georgia. Kendall Milton, the 4-star running back, number 53 overall player in the country, 6'1", 215, early enrollee for Kirby Smart. As we roll the tape for you guys, see what this kid is all about. He's a burner. He makes people miss. His one-cut ability is very, very good. People try to tackle him low. He cuts to the right or left, makes people miss, and he's off to the races. He can run. He can catch the ball really well, as you will see in just a second. He's got good hands. I like Milton's ability. He's got the size of a wide receiver, quite frankly. 6'1.5", 215 pounds, out of Clovis, California. Played at Buchanan High School out there. Number 53 overall player in the country. You see him on that little running back option route, just burning the defense. And you see his good hands on this play as well. Throw well behind him, and he makes a nice play. Kendall Milton, I like this kid a lot. Versatile running back. DeAndre Swift heading off to the NFL, so Milton should get some playing time as a freshman. Next player, we got Marcus Roseme, 4-star wide receiver. Georgia needs help at receiver. It was tough to watch for Jake Fromm last year, who had plenty of his own problems, but the wide receiver group took a step back in 2019, trying to get things back on track in 2020. 6'2", 195 out of St. Thomas High School in Fort Lauderdale. Hopefully this kid can help. Top 10 receiver in the country. Number 54 overall player is Marcus Roseme. Then you got Arian Smith, another wide receiver here, as we have a string of wide receivers coming up. 4-star player, top 60 overall player in the country at a Lakeland High School in Lakeland, Florida. Number 9 receiver in the country. Needs to fill out a little bit. 6'1", 170, has good speed. Needs to put on probably 15 pounds once he gets to Georgia. But Arian Smith, a faster player at receiver. They need some speed as well. Excited to watch this kid play. Then we got Cedric Van Pran, the 4-star center, number 59 overall player in the country, beefing up that offensive line for Georgia. Committed back in August of 2019 out of New Orleans. 6'4", 305, has good size at the center position. Really doesn't need to put on that much weight. That's excellent size for a center. You know, fine-tune his body certainly, but he will be a player to watch out for down the road. Let's take a look at the SEC recruiting rankings. No surprising, it's been very SEC dominated this year. Georgia and Bama, top 2 classes in the country. LSU coming in at number 4 overall, number 3 in the SEC. A&M and Auburn rounding out the top 5 in the SEC. But those 5 schools in the top 7 in college football for recruiting this year. It's no secret why the SEC sends the most players to the NFL, because they crush it on the recruiting trail. Question for you, and I think this is an interesting one. Will Georgia win a national title under Kirby Smart? Because since the college football playoff era has started, it's pretty much been Alabama, Clemson. You had LSU last year. It's kind of what it's been looking like, though. Georgia got to that national title a couple years ago, had a chance against Alabama. Tua leads the great comeback. If Kirby Smart keeps recruiting like this, he's bound to break through at some point. So I'm going to type my Y for yes. I think Georgia's been the best program the last 5 years or so without winning a national title. They're certainly up there. I think they will certainly win one under Kirby Smart. Jermaine Burton, another receiver, like I said. Georgia trying to add speed and weapons on the outside for new transfer quarterback Jamie Newman coming in from Wake Forest, who had a nice season at Wake. Burton should help. whether it's this year or in a couple of years. 6 foot, buck 90 out of Calabasas, California, nation's number 15 overall receiver. Georgia has 11 players in the top 81 in 2020. That's why they have the number 1 recruiting class in the country. Jalen Carter, number 104 overall player, 4-star cornerback. They just keep reloading on defense. If Georgia can just catch up on offense a little bit, this defense is top 5 in the country every year. 6 foot, 170 pounds out of Mansfield Timberview over in Arlington, Texas, where the Dallas Cowboys play. Number 8 corner in the country. 170 is a little undersized. He'll get physically overwhelmed at that size in the SEC. Maybe he redshirts as a freshman, but has good technique, good ball skills. He should be a force to be reckoned with here in a couple of years. Chad Lindbergh, offensive tackle, 4-star, number 140 overall player in the country. Georgia's O-line a little up and down in 2019. Several offensive linemen in this class, including Lindbergh. He should help at some point in his career. Major Burns, the 4-star safety. I like this kid a lot. Really rangy player, a willing tackler as well. He's an early enrollee, one of several early enrollees, 6'2", 175 pounds. Needs to put on a little bit of weight, but has a good frame for the safety position. Nazir Stackhouse, top 250 player, defensive tackle. He's a little bit raw, but I like his size a lot. Watch a little bit of him. He's a good run stopper. Not an excellent pass rusher, but he will fill the middle of that defensive line extremely well. Put on a little bit of weight. He should be good to go down the road for Georgia. Now, Georgia fans and just anybody watching this video, you want to take care of your woman on Valentine's Day. Try to come up with the proper wording there. Don't be like me and wait till the last second and try and battle people at the stores for the remaining flowers, which by then aren't even the good options anyway. And by the way, they got sweets as well. Our partner, Pro Flowers. Chatsports.com/flowers. Go to that link and get all of this stuff up to 15% off. You don't have to worry about it. They're going to deliver it on Valentine's Day for you guys. We're just, 8 days away from Valentine's Day. I've already done this. I don't want to have to worry about it anymore. Pro Flowers hooking me up, hooking you guys up as well. 15% off flowers, sweets, cookies, all kinds of stuff. Chatsports.com/flowers. Go ahead and do that today. All right, the only quarterback in this year's class for the Bulldogs, Carson Beck, 4-star quarterback, top 250 overall player. I mentioned Jamie Newman transferred in from Wake Forest. Georgia's a little light on the quarterback depth chart. As you guys know, several transfers in the last couple of years. Jacob Eason leaving, Justin Fields leaving last year, Jake Fromm turning pro this year. Beck probably won't be able to redshirt because he might have to be Jamie Newman's backup. Dejon Edwards, top 300 player, 4-star running back. Be curious to see how much he plays this year with Swift going pro, with a couple of other guys in this class as well. Edwards coming in to Georgia, 4-star running back. Justin Robinson, another wide receiver in this class. You see this a lot now with programs. They just signed 4 or 5 receivers every year because if you hit on 1 or 2 of them, you do that every year, you're in good shape. You're going to be too deep at wide receiver. I mentioned Georgia needs help at that position. They were not very good there last year. Robinson should be a good option moving forward. Warren Brinson, the 4-star defensive tackle, just outside the top 300. Just another defensive tackle in this year's class. I think he is a redshirt candidate because he's not quite there compared to the other guys we have talked about so far, but he's got ability. Kirby Smart should mold him. He'll be ready to go here in the next year or 2. Austin Blasky, 3-star offensive tackle as we start to round out this Georgia 2020 recruiting class, just outside the top 500. He's undersized, about 270 pounds, needs to put on some weight, needs some technique help, but has some ability. He will almost certainly redshirt in 2020. Who will win the SEC this upcoming season? Obviously, LSU came out of nowhere last year, had the magical season under Joe Burrow, won the SEC, won the national title. Alabama looking to get back, Georgia looking to break through, Florida under Dan Mullen. Lots of options. I think Georgia's got a good chance if Jamie Newman comes in and plays well and some of these freshmen have an impact next season. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. All right, final 3 players here as we wrap this up. Devin Willock, 3-star offensive tackle, another offensive lineman coming in for Kirby Smart and Georgia as a part of this 2020 recruiting class. Ladd McConkey, just outside the top 1,000, 3-star wide receiver, got offered late in the process. Probably will redshirt, but could develop into a player down the road. And then, hey, we don't ignore kickers here at Chat Sports. Jared Zirkle, 3-star kicker, number 5 overall kicker in the country. You can really ignore stars with kickers. If they got a good leg and they can kick it straight, you're good to go. Jared Zirkle could do that. Number 5 kicker in the 2020 recruiting cycle. One more time, the top 5 recruiting classes in the country, barring a last-minute change. Georgia on top under Kirby Smart. Alabama, number 2. Clemson, number 3. Ed Orgeron and LSU at number 4. Ohio State at number 5 here on National Signing.